He never held office, he never commanded an army, he never owned land, a title, or a single coin that was legally his. And yet the most powerful men in Rome studied his words. Emperors quoted him. Generals carried his teachings into battle. 2,000 years later, his philosophy is inside every major therapy system in the world. His name was Epictetus. He was born a slave, and what happened between that beginning and that ending is one of the most brutal and extraordinary stories in all of human history. Most people who quote him have no idea where he actually came from, what was done to him, and how what was done to him became the foundation of everything he taught. That changes today. Epictetus was born around 50 AD in Hierapolis, a city in what is now Western Turkey. He was not born into poverty. He was born into something worse. He was born owned. From his first breath, every decision about his life belonged to someone else. Where he slept, what he ate, what work his body did, all of it determined by a master before Epictetus could form a single opinion about any of it. At some point in his early life, he was sold to Rome. His new owner was a man named Epictetus, a freed slave himself who had risen to become a powerful secretary under Emperor Nero. The cruelty of that detail is almost too precise to be accidental. A man who had escaped slavery now owned one. Epictetus was known for being brutal. There is an account, recorded by multiple ancient sources, of what he did to Epictetus to demonstrate power. He twisted his leg, slowly, deliberately, watching to see if Epictetus would break. Epictetus said calmly, "You are going to break my leg." Epictetus kept twisting. The leg broke. Epictetus said, "Did I not tell you?" No rage, no begging, no collapse. Just a statement of fact from a man whose mind was somewhere his master could never reach. That moment is not just a story. It is the entire philosophy of Epictetus compressed into a single scene. And understanding why he responded that way requires understanding what he had already figured out. While still enslaved, Epictetus was permitted to study under a Stoic philosopher named Musonius Rufus. This was unusual. Most slaves received no education of any kind. Why Epictetus allowed it is not recorded, but whatever the reason, it gave Epictetus access to an idea that would become the foundation of his entire existence. The Stoics taught that the world is divided into two categories: things within your control and things outside of it. Within your control, your thoughts, your judgments, your responses, your values. Outside your control, everything else: your body, other people, outcomes, reputation. Whether your leg gets broken by a man who owns you. Most people hear that and think it sounds like giving up, like accepting defeat. Epictetus heard it and understood something completely different. If the only thing truly mine is what happens inside my own mind, then no one can ever actually take anything from me. Not Epictetus, not Nero, not Rome itself. The body could be enslaved, the mind could not. And the moment he understood that distinction at a level deeper than philosophy, deeper than concept, he became, in the only way that actually matters, completely free, while still in chains. At some point after Nero's death in 68 AD, Epictetus was freed. The exact circumstances are not recorded. What is recorded is what he did immediately after. He did not pursue wealth. He did not pursue status. He opened a school. In a small room with almost no furniture, Epictetus began teaching, not writing. He never wrote a single word down himself. Everything we have from him was recorded by a student named Arian, who sat in those sessions and wrote as fast as he could. The lectures were nothing like what you would expect from a philosopher of his eventual stature. He was direct to the point of being uncomfortable. He challenged students publicly. He interrupted comfortable thinking. He had no patience for people who studied philosophy as performance. He said once that a philosopher's school should feel like a hospital. You come in sick. You leave having been treated, not having been made to feel good about being sick. His reputation spread through Rome without him doing anything to spread it. He had no publicist, no patron promoting his work, just a room, a lamp, and ideas so precise that people kept coming back. If you have been finding this kind of content for the first time, this channel is built entirely on ideas like these. Subscribe before the next chapter. What comes next is the part of Epictetus most people never reach. Here is where most summaries of Epictetus stop being accurate. They reduce him to one idea: control what you can control and leave it there. But Epictetus went much further than that. He taught that most human suffering is not caused by what happens to people. It is caused by the story people tell themselves about what happened. He called these stories judgments, and he was relentless about identifying them. Someone insults you. The insult is not the problem. Your judgment that the insult matters, that is the problem. Your judgment that this person's opinion has power over your inner state, that is where the suffering actually lives. He pushed this further than almost anyone was comfortable with. He said that poverty, exile, pain, and death are not bad things. They are neutral. What makes them good or bad is entirely the judgment you attach to them. His students pushed back on this constantly. Death is not neutral. Pain is not neutral. These things are real. Epictetus agreed that they were real. He disagreed that real meant bad. He said, look at what you are actually afraid of, not the thing itself. The meaning you have decided to attach to the thing. Change the meaning and the fear dissolves, not because the thing is gone, because you are no longer handing it power it does not inherently have. That single shift in understanding is worth more than most therapy, and it came from a man who had genuinely lost everything a person can lose, which is exactly why it carries the weight it does. Emperor Hadrian invited Epictetus to the imperial court. Epictetus declined. He had no interest in proximity to power. He had already demonstrated what he thought of power. Power could break his leg. It could not touch anything he considered worth protecting. He lived the rest of his life simply: a small house, basic food, few possessions, not as poverty, as proof. Proof that everything he taught was something he actually believed. He adopted a child late in life when he learned the child would otherwise be left to die. This detail matters because Epictetus is often reduced to cold detachment, a philosophy of not caring. But that is not what he taught. He taught caring deeply about what is genuinely yours to care about, and releasing the rest. The distinction is enormous. Cold detachment is just numbness with better branding. What Epictetus practiced was precise attention, knowing exactly what deserved his energy and protecting that with everything he had. He died around 135 AD, a freed slave with no titles, no wealth, no political position. And the most powerful man in the Roman Empire had wanted to sit in his presence. That is not irony. That is the entire point. The story of Epictetus is not ancient history. It is a live question aimed at you right now. What are you giving power to that has no power over what actually matters? What judgment are you carrying that is costing you more than the thing itself ever could? Those are not comfortable questions. They were not comfortable in that small room in Rome either. But the people who sat with them long enough walked out different. This channel exists for exactly that. Not comfort, clarity. If you are not subscribed yet, do it now. Because what we are building here goes places most philosophy content never reaches. The next idea we cover will make you question something you have believed your entire life. Something so familiar you stop noticing it was a choice. You will want to be here for that.